சார் ஆடியோ வரல.
Mostly the friends of concern management. These are all the mandatory things coming to picture. Those of you who are doing undergraduate BTech or MTech, they believe you will be joining the industry. Industry is now changing, not only on the technological aspect, but on this. In today's talk, talking to Mr. GHOSHAL, he is going to tell what is the need for the technical topic. The environmental situation, what is the thing? Because the globalization, the warming of the global, everything has to be checked now. So, it will be of great interest for all of you. In the days to come, we are also planning to organize lectures on some of their work accreditation, ESP compliance. That will not be covering the technology alone. These are all the needed for the our industry over we are going to make a career. Big companies, they have their own separate department, better development, concentrate on that, quality assurance, composing, they have a separate department. But if you are going to start a non-tire sector, it's better you should be enlightened with all the modern regulations, changing regulation, and it will help a lot for you to come up in the profession. Even big tech companies, they make the visit of the raw material suppliers and other assessment. At that time, the team will consist of better development, work assurance, R&D department. So the team goes and explains what is needed, including green energy, whether they got solar panel installed or not. Not necessary as technologists, why should we know? But if you know all of these aspects, it will help you to come up in the organization. Or even if you are starting your own company, it will help you to understand things and shape up better. As I told you last time, two students should interact with the industry people as much as possible because your future is with the rubber industry. So, we will be arranging the MRF management is good enough to bring sponsorship for next 8 meetings or so. So, we'll be arranging on different topics which is of interest for all of you. We also have online people. So far, 23 people informed us that they will not join online. They will be joining one by one. And I welcome all those people who are joining online. So, with these words, I would like to conclude my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome. I request Dr. K. Lambovan, Associate Professor, Department of Rubber and Plastic Technology, MIT, to deliver the introductory talk, giving us an overview for the session.
Good evening to all present here. Respected distinguished speaker, Mr. GHOSHAL sir, Senior Rubber Technologist IRI, respected Mr. Janaka sir, Chairman IRI Chennai branch, respected Mr. S. Sudhakar sir, Vice Chairman IRI, Mr. S. Ganesh, Honorary Secretary IRI, and other officials and industry delegates from various organizations and our own past student Salim Sheikh and Shalom sir and officials from IRP and all the industry. So I welcome all of you and our students, in fact, our PG and UG students. I welcome all of you for this very interesting lecture, which is planned to deliver by our eminent senior technologist, Mr. GHOSHAL sir. In fact, this particular series of lecture, it is completely it is under the discussion with our department, Rubber and Plastic Technology, and IRI officers. Number of times they visited here, and GHOSHAL sir, I mean Mr. Janaka sir, always he used to check whatever the things are there. He used to personally check whether it is working or not to ensure proper delivery of the contents. So after his efforts and our Professor Ravichandran sir also joining with Janaka sir in order to arrange all the kind of requirements in order to organize this kind of series of lecture. I thank the IRI and MRF and our process, our HOD Jaykumar, and in fact, this type of lectures are very important in this scenario, and all the lectures are going to be it is giving very important aspects with respect to the current scenario, whatever it is needed for the updating the knowledge with respect to rubber and plastic technology. And again here today lecture it is rubber material requirements for environment, electric vehicles, and ICBs, engines of automobiles. So this is a very interesting lecture. In fact, our sir, Marshall sir, so we are having a lot of practical experience. And in fact, Marshall sir, always when we approach for any project work or any of the testing equipment usage from IRP, he is always ready to help us. So we thank GHOSHAL sir and the team from IRP. And definitely the lecture will be benefited for our students. So I request all the students and the delegates to make use of the lecture. I once again welcome all the officials. Thank you.
For insightful introduction. To introduce our esteemed speaker for the evening, I invite Mr. S. Sudhakar, Vice Chairman, IRI Chennai branch, to the stage.
Good evening to all. Thank the host maybe for arranging lecture for this students and for some industry people also. So now I would like to see this many every month. I would like to do something. We will see that next month itself. I will come with some other supplier to come and we test and give some lectures on this. It will help us both the industry people and for the students. So, and we know now today we are going to give a lecture on the EV rubber components for the modern EV vehicle. We all expected initially that once ICE vehicles or goes on and EV vehicles comes in, the number of rubber products will come down drastically with that. But still, rubber products have their role in the EV vehicles also. So on this subject, we welcome Mr. P. GHOSHAL, who is an expert in this rubber. He's a very expert in this rubber field. I know him for the past more than 3 decades. I think they are telling 3 decades of him. Yes, I know him for the past 35 years. He's working in selling for the product and was not gone shifted from the small industry to the industry. One of the senior most person. Mr. GHOSHAL is a seasoned expert in the field of rubber technology. Currently serving as a senior rubber technologist in industrial rubber IRP, industrial rubber technology, Chennai. With over 3 decades of industrial experience, he possesses deep technical knowledge around the rubber seamers. We used to get guidance from, even as a supplier also, we used to get guidance from him. The technical experts in design, development, and processing of rubber components for critical applications. His work has played a pivotal role in enhancing the product performance through optimized drawing design and formulation strategies, making him a sought after voice in the Indian rubber manufacturing sector. Mr. GHOSHAL is widely expected for bridging practical industry challenges with applied rubber science. So we welcome Mr. P.K. GHOSHAL to deliver the lecture for all of us. Still, it's a learning process for all. Thank you.
Now the moment we all have been waiting for, it is my privilege to welcome Mr. P.K. GHOSHAL to deliver his expert lecture on rubber components for modern vehicles, EV and BS6 IV. Sir, we are eager to hear the insights. Ms. Keynes.
Good evening to all. Respected Mr. Janata, Mr. Sudhakar, Mr. Bharat, Dr. Ilazman, all the other dignitaries, MIT faculty members, and all students of the meeting. So today I am going to present whether I have to discuss about an interesting topic, a relevant topic, dollar companies for modern vehicles, EV and GSP internal combustion engines. So this topic is quite interesting because if we go to the road, we find a lot of vehicles moving in the road. So I'm not talking about the vehicle, different vehicles or luxury vehicles. If you go to this vehicle is run by different type of fuels. Earlier days, if you think about 35 years back, in the road we find only two vehicles. One is ambassador, another is Kia. And other type of vehicle is railway. And all the vehicles run by petrol and diesel. Maybe base 2, base 3, that time standard was there. But nowadays, due to pollution control or environmental possibility, is there no environmental concerning to our health. So government is very much strict. So they are told that we have to work on this thing in all the industries. They are told, usually oil companies have changed the oil, and industry also have to upgrade the engine so that now BS4 is standard to be changed. And in all the department, all the private sectors, private sectors, oil companies generally work, and from 2015 onwards, they work hard and they skip the base 5. and BS6 not started from 2020. And I've been told that this 2020 onwards, no new manufacturing heavily manufactured with BS4. Whatever BS4 capability is there, that can be continued for another 15 years. Now, all these things, why everybody is thinking about this changes of the standard? There is a lot of difference here. So let me start with what is the difference. So internal, if we talk about internal combustion engine, basic standard. Basic, basic, what is basic? Basic is the petrol and diesel fuel. Compared to BS4, what is the difference? For petrol engine, petrol passenger vehicle, in BS6, nitrogen oxides, nitrogen monoxide and dioxide. In BS4, the norm was 18 milligram per kilometer. But in BS6 fuel, petrol fuel, it is 60 milligram per kilometer. Particulate matter, maximum limit, BS4, there is no fixed range. But BS6 is mentioned 4.5 milligram per kilometer. Diesel passenger vehicle, nitrogen oxide, BS4 250 milligram, and 80% reduced in BS6, it is 80 milligram per kilometer. Particulate matter limit was BS4 for diesel 25 milligram per kilometer, reduced to 4.5 milligram per kilometer. The stick change. Similarly, hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxide level in BS4 and BS4 was 300 milligram, reduced to 170 milligram. So there is quite a drastic change. Another change is that BS6 fuel, that sulfur percentage is level very low. In BS4, sulfur level is 2 ppm. But in BS6 it is only 10 ppm. That is 1/5 of the BS4 level. Normally sulfur is used in fuel for lubrication purpose. So, but beyond the sulfur level, it is in the exhaust, the sulfur gas, sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide is very harmful. That also will be reduced. Reduce the level of nitrogen oxide and particulate matter. So, what is the exhaust gas? Whatever will come out, it contains very less amount of nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide. So, here is you will get more cleaner air. So, or to meet this requirement, engine also upgraded, and there are some arrangements made so that further how we can reduce the pollutant gas, reducing the exhaust. So there are some arrangements made. Say in the IC engine, especially in the diesel, there is a turbo chamber. What is the turbo chamber? Turbo chamber mainly it is used in diesel vehicles. Turbo chamber is the system where turbine and compressor is there. So exhaust gas coming out of the engine, it will not directly come out of the exhaust channel. It will go to the turbine, and hot exhaust gas will rotate the wheel of the turbine, and this wheel will spin the compressor wheel, and then environment, lot of cold water, cold air, full oxygen will enter into the compressor, and it will be compressed, and the compressed air, which contains lot of oxygen, it will go to the charge cooler, that cooler function it is the temperature and these air full of oxygen. It again enter to recycle, actually to recycle, enter the recycle, it will enter to the engine. So there is more efficient combustion in take place and more power it will be saved and more power will be there. So we get a benefit that power will get into boosted power and the exhaust gas, what is supposed to come out of the vehicle, it will recycle. So polluted gas contributes 100 units. So this is the function of the turbocharger and it is nowadays is all because it is combustible. Some of the four-wheelers bus also that are using this thing because it will boost engine efficiency and power by forcing more air into the combustion chamber. So these operations involve extreme temperatures and pressures, depending highly resilient rubber components. Now, to meet this requirement, earlier whatever rubber we commonly use, so there are some changes are there. Here, the temperature will be. And if you go through this diagram, in the right side, the hot exhaust will come out, which is entering to the turbine. So, to this hot air gas, how do we do it? It means hose, but normal hose is not standard. So, here, we use the hose where the inner air will be FK or fluorescent. You know, FK and fluorescent both are very highly heat resistant. It can release some hot oil resistant also there. And we also use silicon rubber. And the reinforced is aramid fabric. This is mainly metaramid. Rubberized metaramid fabric used for the reinforced metal. So it will reduce the temperature of plus 200 degrees centigrade. Hot oil also inside because the exhaust may contain oil spillage. So this oil spillage also will not form this diesel rubber because it is a very highly resistant rubber and it can release very high temperature. So and you know that to meet these parameters, not only we have to make a board, we will meet the requirement theoretically, practically also we have to check whether it should sustain that drastic temperature and pressure requirement. So what we do all the tests required in the office. We check in our control testing machine, the cycling test machine is there, or how we can check it, if it does post and it will resist. It will reduce the high temperature and the decal. We try to monitor the decal operation because it will have some vibration. So in the our second test apparatus, what we will do, we there is a vibration arrangement. It will vibrate with an amplitude of 8 millimeter with a frequency of 7 hertz, that is 4 milliseconds per minute. And there is a pressure cycle 0 to 3 bar, 3 kV, and back to 0 to 30 seconds per minute. This condition and the chamber temperature is 225 close chamber. It will last minimum 4 lakh seconds. So if these parameters meet in this duration, then we will tell it will be okay, it will perform. So drastically we change this thing, and this was not arbitrary. Normally for peak the hot end of the engine, this was to be used. If you go to the drawing, you find the through turbine and compressor, it will go to charge air cooler. Again, it will enter. To charge air cooler, the temperature of the air will be drastically reduced. The temperature may be about 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. So here many companies prefer to use silver and silver, though it is not required. So this was a bit advantage in these processes. But many companies, and we also suggest, they are repeating most is sufficient because repeated then resist up to 150 degrees certificate. Repeated with polyester reinforcement is can be used because unnecessarily why that they will incur higher cost. Because the cost is much higher. In that this way, repeated polyester reinforcement are cheaper and if you partner with so then already I mentioned this stabilization components. One is become the DNP. Then fuel cell is used in the layer and sorry, total is the one the virus and fuel cell MP both are used depending on the it depends some customer prefer FK, some customer prefer NBNQ because NBNQ having oil resistant properties better than FK. And but it has got low temperature properties also because in some cases some abroad where temperature is much less where this host this document data is not being used. So it can resist the low temperature also. Low temperature properties that we include is much better than FK. So we can see the diagram. The red color is 100% similar. It is used in the cold end of the terminal area. And green hose is the hose where pure silver is used. You can use FM also. It is used in the upper end. The other thing also can be used, but it is red color. This inside is FM, where you can use high temperature. But blue color is used in the normally lower temperature. It can be used in the colder area also. And it needs to be complex, it needs to be polyester. In particular process, what I told you that cold end, this number can be used. Optimize for chart data and we estimate production and results. This is a basket. Now, other than post, there are a lot of bullet components required. The IC engine vehicle. One is basket. This basket earlier was 100% escape basket side direction in stone. Universal escape basket by temperature. The current is 200 degrees centigrade, 210 degrees centigrade with good compressive compression value. But nowadays, HPHC, a modified HCl compound, which can reduce high temperature, where temperature is slightly less than 200 degrees centigrade, their HPHC can be used because price difference of HPHC is much lower than FK. So where the scope is there, we always suggest our customer that unnecessarily you should not go by FK. Because the similar indecent properties, two properties and single properties, what is required, you can achieve with this skill we suggest. And definitely our one of the repeated ways they are giving approval in case of FKM or AM. Unnecessary AM also used. So there is a lot of price advantage they will get. So it is our duty that customers should get proper material which is cheaper. Many times India I am surprising to know that nowadays that company design the detailed terms. Earlier days, we used to get drawing with specification. So it is our goal. We have to suggest what is the rubber we should select. Nowadays, we get a design that maybe natural to some extent or not having much experience. They suggest polymer also. Many times we found that decision is wrong. Either they have selected wrong polymer or they have selected a polymer which is unnecessarily with higher end. in very high costly in this case. On the platform, in case of nitrate required gas like area. Because they are doing the bypass and test. They are still drawing where they are found alien. It is not required. Alien is required only where very high heat distance in oily atmosphere. Yeah, it means the price difference of India and India is 4-5 times high, or maybe more than that. So this is the I impose the designer. The designer is online, they are receiving this. If they want to make a new component, whatever is for very good parameter or costly polymer required or not, they can ask the price from the manufacturer. They can give the technical lab to be used. What is the temperature, what will kind of fluid or liquid, it has to be. So unnecessary compounding we use, it will not. Nowadays, there are a lot of processes that is for fail board. And there are a lot of changes nowadays. Earlier days, it was mainly nitrate or nitrate PVC based outside. It will reinforcement inside nitrate, outside nitrate PVC or DSP. It will be the other recovery. Because earlier vapor temperature was also not much, oil also not critical phase. So in the India, field or anywhere in the based is quite okay for those applications. But nowadays, lot of critical field like biofuel and these basic fields, so that normal engineer may not meet. So nowadays, what is earlier in case of industry is also very popular. Nowadays also it is continuing for lower temperature fields. But many cases it can be zero or it can be it can be either PCO outside. It either it will be co-excluded host, without reinforcement, or if there is some positive pressure becoming in there, we will be reinforcement. So it is in there. Either it can reinforcement PCO or through that co-exclusion. Either it can be very costly. So temperature can be below 0.5 to 0.6 millimeter, and PCO is higher, about 2 millimeter. Similarly, taking also. And further, in some companies, they are asking 3 layer system also. They are saying that India, sorry, they came in India and outside this or area to be the cost. So this is the change of polymer based on recurrence. Now, you will find the first, we started with a vehicle, the video, we will find a lot of vehicles running in the street. Many vehicles is run by petrol and diesel. So earlier days, we used to find a lot of vehicles with white or yellow number plate. Nowadays, a lot of vehicles running with a green number plate. What do you mean by green? Electric vehicle. It is the minimum pollution or exhaust. There is no polluted gas from the exhaust gas because it is electric vehicles. And electric vehicles is that the thing that only one problem is there. The battery is made of silicon, nickel carbide or nickel battery. That is not available much in India, but it is imported from China obviously. And another thing is that nickel battery life is till now, maybe 3 years or 5 years. And this battery, if you are not able to reuse, it is quite dangerous. You have to dig it and under the soil of this thing. So I heard a lot of R&D activities going on. It may be possible to recycle the battery in long run, but that is not sure. But this electric battery, you have to maintain a particular temperature if you run it the same. So this battery is, Mr. Sudhakar was telling that electric vehicle, we also thought initially when you start, then only companies which is only rubber components, they will not get much order for the rubber components. But fortunately, electric vehicles also require a lot of rubber components. Like the battery requires a lot of process that is mainly made of power security to the battery. Because batteries should require particular temperature to maintain this temperature, and it is done by the coolant hose. Coolant hose we use in the IC engine also. And another thing I should mention here, normally for coolant medium hose, people manufacture medium hose using sulfur tube. Sulfur hose is quite okay, but based on studies we found, even in the IC engine, these sulfur tube medium hose sometimes fail due to some electrical spark generated in the inner side of the hose. We could think about this hose which is fitted in the radiator, in the radiator hose. The part of the radiator hose is that immediate hose start with some coupling which is made of metal, either zinc alloy or aluminum. And to the hose coolant, the zinc alloy water or synthetic dry in water, which act as the electrolyte. And two in the middle portion act as cathode anode. So it acts as a static battery and generates some power. When the battery runs, generates some power, and that electric spark sometimes it damages the inner portion of the hose, everything there, and the hose will. Another thing is that this hose, this Indian radiator hose, when this join this complete due to the compressor set, this hose becomes loose, and every week or every fortnight it must go and tight this one. By that time, lot of coolant is costly, there is waste. It begins. So whenever we used to go to the Orient, the designer asked me, can you help us, can you reduce this oil leakage by anything? And by that time, we have found that we studied and found a lot of forces got related due to this electrochemical degradation. So we started doing some R&D activity and found this can be avoided by converting sulfur tube to perovskite tube. So nowadays, most of the OEMs for this type of application, perovskite tube is their preferred. It has got two advantages. This electrical degradation resistance is very good. Second thing, you all knew that perovskite is giving very good compensation. Whether it's sulfur tube, it is compensation is 70%. This perovskite tube is 40% or less. So the plant pressure they are giving, that they would require to tighten it even maybe for next 6 months or 1 year. So there is a lot of savings of coolant and deviation also in the actual line deviation also very less due to the ECD, electrical deviation. And same type of hose individual also repair. significant, all the procedures are safety. Only disadvantage is there, sulfur cure, that only one time curing is there. But peroxide cure is two time. One is post-treating also removed. Because peroxide is always required post-treating to improve the composition recovery. So petrol and diesel is a low sulfur combination are used in the IC engine. Alternate polymer, alternate fuel nowadays, many states already before electrical came, to reduce the pollution, polluted gas from the exhaust. They started like Delhi. These are the same of natural gas. And Delhi, 100% same and electrical. And LPG has already started, you have seen that most of the auto here run by LPG gas. Lot of auto also have come in electric. And I have not seen nowadays, I have not find any auto or any vehicle to exhaust is that black color gas or white color is coming. So one way, actually, more we are getting more cleaner air. So BSC is giving cleaner vehicle. And another thing is that this the petrol or diesel, they can use certain percent amount of vegetable oil. For diesel, and ethanol, sorry, palm oil is preferable. For petrol, ethanol. Ethanol can be used 100% also. In European countries, some cases 100% is used, like 1500. But in India, diesel and B20 is more popular. So it can generate very less filtered gas. But it requires single but whatever it was that can proceed from this point to or biofuel. Biofuel is very proceed not single. So wherever ethanol content is high, even if some of the bullet component also, if you come into contact with biofuel, these are the no, it is possible. And this engine, the battery, the motor run by battery. So this thermal management is very important. And there are some seals and gaskets for battery cooling system to maintain optimal operating temperature and even thermal management. So here also civil purpose either silicon rubber or some cases cane rubber is used to make it very industry operating temperature and capacity for the fit. And high voltage is very CD. Similarly, there is some cable connectors is there that also require silicon rubber. Mainly, silicon rubber advantage there which has got good insulation resistance. Battery also contains require dimension battery. The dimension battery still people are using air temperature is not much. Still, there is nothing. Natural rubber is used. Some study has been made in quite possible. So if that AM thinks about, it can maybe a good battery capacity there. And emission I have told you already. So to maintain that good quality, low emission, and without the our minimum failure rates, we have to select the material accordingly. I already told for this type of application, one of the computer is required, and already lot of activities have been started in India also, and we are getting drawing. Sometimes I mistake that we wrong design wrong application wrong design. That will suggest You see, this is the one of the holes. Nowadays, we are making for the 50 people. And we find that this kind of holes is electrical, all those is very typical profile. Manufacturer is for you see that 4 bit, 5 bit, and all these things, and it is made in the bundle. So the both insertion and remote from the bundle is quite fast. And why they are made like this? Because normally there is a battery cooling board. Battery cooling is normally requires a bigger size, and they made this type of profile to make it more compact. Because the space is not much, you build the space is still, but manufacturer is problem. Sometimes designer also make in such a way that one end the diameter is so less, so but the other end they have to face a lot of challenges. Anyway, we have a discussion with the designer, we sometimes we buy it and then we join in some first people that or something. And you find many times this type goes may touch some portion of the vehicle portion that is doing that. Because it may be 200 class of there it is needed. So rubber cannot stand. So in that case, you have to reach some 100, but now this is available. We can stand up to 700 mm. Now, Mr. Janavar mentioned that we should see about sustainability. Because until unless we can give our R&D activity or work this year for future generation to put down. Because unlike plastic, that recycling of rubber is very difficult. Because rubber is a thermoset. But some cases it is possible. Two things are thinking about that's production wise, when you are producing rubber component, you have to strictly maintain the process control. You have to make the component design in such a way that reduction percentage in software should be as minimum as possible, so that you can reduce the waste. If you reduce the waste, that is also one way to help. Second thing, another problem we face in India, that every OEM has got a shelf life standard. Shelf life standards normally in US and in European standards, depending on the polymer, they decide what to be like. Say for natural rubber, normally for every 6 months, you have to be available. For nitrile, say 1 year, for epidemic 5 years, like actually from 10 years. But in India, many companies they necessarily reduce this shelf life price because they have got some. They're thinking that if you give higher shelf life and they are not able to assemble this line will be been. One company, I should not tell the name, one company in India, they are shelf life is strictly of polymer, only 6 months. But it is made of silicon and came any water will. If it was lost, it's scrap. So I always tell them it's a criminal offense. All this rubber is very, very costly and it is imported. So we are losing our money. Like if your money or our money does not do this. So why you are doing this? You can revalidate every one. If you doesn't means every year, if repair person is standard to us, we can test and tell you. Investify your investment. So these components, if they send to scrap here, how will happen? Either it will be gone or this thing, there will no use. So it is also, so have to think about this thing. Unnecessarily, we are instead of sustainable environment, we are polluting the environment unnecessarily. Now, this waste number, what is the possibility of reuse? Really, it is not very easy to reuse the waste component. Either we can reclaim or we can make a crumb from and can be used. But we cannot use this reclaim or crumb rubber in a critical condition. Some components are there, non-critical components, like mats or some bullet components, where this crumb or reclaim rubber can be used. Method of reclaim can be used for determining operation also. In some, even some grade of under bills, it can be blended. Reclaim rubber, reclaim just in natural. In 17 grade powder is there. There are some scope is there. Engineer reclaim also available. But engineer reclaim you cannot use physical components, rather most of the components after DSC physical. But some components it can be used. Whatever maximum possibility we can try to use it to make our environment to generate more pollution. Another thing is that we know that natural rubber is available from the sea, so from the plantation. And there was some right after 10 years or after 12 years, we cannot use that plant to fashion. So if you don't we plant this thing, there is a lot of trees to be cut. Trees will give a lot of free oxygen. We can absorb carbon dioxide. So it is so as a citizen of good citizen, you should keep our skin unnecessarily you should not contact this. So challenges of recycled rubber in physical application. I think that we have to study that by requirement. Wherever we finding that requirement is not stable, we can try to utilize portion of the reclaimed rubber in the either equipment rubber in the equipment component or the natural rubber in natural rubber component, but it cannot be used in the home. It cannot be used in the DSP range of requirements. But it can be used some places where it will become required. I remember in earlier days, whatever we produce, 80% natural rubber. Those days, natural rubber in India and say polyglutarians to some extent, humidity was not there. So people are using natural rubber living in post with the reinforcement of rubberized canvas. We have seen up to 1990, this type of combination was used in the post application. Even I found in 2000 also, in Chennai itself, the Transport Corporation of India, when they get some RFP was, those time already equity was come to the market, equity was also introduced. When we gave them to equity host with polyester and enforcement, they rejected. Right? Because they are capable of getting hosts with the natural rubber with the canvas and with high thickness. They don't know your hose is the thickness is low and it is equilibrium. We don't think it will good light. I asked what line you expect? Minimum 6 months, minimum 60. You told it is for 5 years. So to convince them, also it was very difficult. This is a wrong concept. And many OEMs also, those days, the use digital hose in either India, reinforcement with canvas, outer net. In digital hose. By that time, worldwide, EPDM is the only polymer used in digital. But some of the OEM already started. They have started in 1995, 2007. But one of the company, they are considered so peculiar. One of the veterans told me, I asked why you are using the Indian CR combination. No, there is some use in India. Some of the drivers, they they fill up their tank with some bucket. Petrol being more on the radiator. So it is fair. And very funny thing, when we first hand over some similar material boards for trial purpose, and I went to the department, we found reputation in the engine, and one fellow is spraying that petrol over the ingredient there. But it is swollen. So what you are doing? Videos of all this, and it will not come in contact with oil. No, you do not know. Sometimes due to abuse some oil, petrol, diesel, all of these. And you should make your engine in such a way that it will not come in contact with the fuels. Unnecessarily, while you are using some material, which is theoretically should not be used. It is not acceptable. And it took 5 years to complete it. Now, of course, all that related to we have to begin. So, due to wrong idea, this is. And already I told you, because I said that there is a very wrong concept. We should request to this lecture, if any way designer is receiving this thing, please think about this thing. Please consider this right to depend on the type of polymer. And it is ridiculous, it's not stability. Another thing is prevalent in India, that is asphalt issue. In Indian drawing, you will find that asphalt requirement is 5% to 7% maximum. Nowadays, some companies they have reduced further 3% to 4%. And why, why they are doing this? They are thinking high asphalt means low quality. And I told jokingly one methodology. If you think about the asphalt of silicon level is 5%, 7%, what is the think? If you read any more details, it is silicon compound, my asphalt is 10%. It is not silicon. Silicon level mainly silica pillar is used, but asphalt is 25%, 30% like that. A second thing, if you tie our hand, resting to the asphalt, many requirement is there, where we have to use some ingredients which need to have asphalt. Suppose if you have to make a 5 resistant or 10 resistant compound, why we have to use some ingredients? Why asphalt bound to increase? Suppose we have to include the additional steps, number 2 fabric or number 2 metal, we have to use some similar. We have which means make it to get more asphalt. Even in tire also, to improve the loading resistance, which is reduce the fuel consumption, is not added. Added. Then we get a tire maximum 7% which is cannot be good. So by these unknowingly you are trying to implement something which is in fact degraded the quality of the rubber component. You should think about this. Unnecessarily, and in many cases, the cost of the compound is increased due to this extinction. Why is it not declared that 5%, 10%, to make the 5%, 10%, suppose all rubber compounds, general rubber compounds, or zinc oxide, maybe zinc oxide, manganese oxide. So automatically, the asphalt is 10% or higher than that. And if you restrict this thing, where material because much less, you can reduce the compound for window quality. If you have some calcium carbonate or some material, to reduce the cost, due to this restriction economic. But at the same time, the buyer wants their compound cost, the component cost to be reduced. But they are restricting to use to the exactly way that they are not able to reduce the cost. But another funny thing in India, many companies knows that it is not required. So they make the compound cheaper without knowing the user. And user is getting inferior quality, which is not meeting the drawing requirements. It should not affect because it is not required. So those kind of traders, we want to do business honestly, and they will not get out. It is the scenario in India, and it has been done by OEMs buyer. They are not wrong with this wrong idea. And this kind of thing, nowadays, they should change this policy. Nowadays, a lot of quality improvement is possible. You can do the quality improvement. They can discuss with the manufacturer. And lot of benefits they have in one, they can test outside also. But without doing this, they want to implement something unnecessarily. Then many times they may be cheated also. And a good manufacturer, they cannot get on. Anyway, my humble interest in that OEM designer of these things, they should relook all these wrong ideas. They should think about this. They can discuss. They can participate in some seminars of this thing. Nowadays, some of the designers they are approaching us. Before finally driving, they are extending to us to give some idea. But I think that a lot of changes is there. Already, we have two weeks on activities, and what I have told you. Now, in future, I think we do a lot of R&D activities, some more specialized rubber to be used. And one advantage is there that some of the companies are coming with new development. So earlier, say AEM, many cases AEM is must, and we are not able to replace AEM. Unfortunately, only one company all over the world making the report. No other company making. So they going up in the USA, they are going up increase the price, and we do not have any choice. If we make a component, whether you get it at very high price. Now, as HPC has developed, has come, 5 to 6 companies are making, Japan and China, HPC. 90% of companies are making $8 a making. So many components have replaced HPC with HPC. So that's literally reduced. Now we have found finding that the impossible. When there is no competition, prices are going up. And sometimes EM price was higher than 8K instead of 8K. So this kind of practice is mainly for European companies or American companies. Nowadays we are getting some of the here, which very replace honestly polymers. And in future, we will have to think about whether biopolymer something comes or not, or some environmental chemicals. Recently, I heard I participated a seminar that was told some antioxidant will make it's a clean plant. We are studying, but it is not so effective. But in future, it will come. So if you get this kind of materials, so that will be more sustainable product you can get. But it is difficult in the rubber to utilize the waste component to some extent of that time. More R&D activities will be required. So I think I have told you, whatever I told you, you have got some knowledge. If any other you also know, you can applicate now in future also and able to give you some information. If you try to work something, so which strategy will benefit in future. So this now I biggest the students that you get the idea to also try to get ideas how to do further to make sustainable component and without increasing the cost. Cost is a very important factor. In India, within the 2 rupees increase in the price of component, So you can your computer is getting cheaper, you see. But what is the computer company is okay or not, that we do not know. So this system is in India. So now, I think, I think in this area, any question, you can ask me, you can do this. Thank you.
For the informative thought learning lecture, participants may raise their questions to hear the questions. And the online participants also can raise the questions. It repeat, if the participants are ready to ask questions, they may raise.
Well, HTSM cost competitive and comparative FK. What about the fuel resistance? HTSM is it cost competitive compared to FK, right? Not right. Yeah. Yeah. What about the fuel resistance?
Well, this is better than EM. EM is not very specific to other people. HTSM almost like ECM. ECM resistance is better than EM. A temperature resistance is more, much more than EM. But HTSM fitness is quite good. Oil is and price wise, that has given us an idea. The grain price is say 1,200. HTSM is 7. So there is a lot of reduction in price. And property wise, it will almost be 90% of 50% of the oil is still for better than
Mr. Prashant, that this may not be pertaining to your topic, but of late, sulfur prices are going up. Yes. Okay. It was in the range of 30 rupees, now 50 rupees. When we were talking to company, we said because of the UV vehicles, because of the lithium batteries, the sulfur usage has gone up. Is it correct?
Because EV vehicles for fuel boards or battery solar boards, 100% product security. There is no such. And I don't know why you will feel. And if you think of what I told you already, sulfur content is very also drastically reduced. Why this sulfur goes with the you don't know. Because without company means sulfur sulfur pure which is not making. But due to price high and price of sulfur is higher. So many people prefer sulfur, some are fixing, but temperature is not.
What they say is for manufacturing lithium batteries, they require more sulfur.
Battery is
Battery.
battery I don't know. Because but battery requires some rubber parts. Rubber parts will not because
That's not rubber part.
for that exact I do not have idea for making battery. But maybe one way it may be different because battery will be protected. So they can use some like material where sulfur will normally battery is placed in circuit place will be at the floor level. So lot of protection required in battery. So for that purpose, maybe some rubber components required like ignite. That's I don't know. I'm not making.
Just check up with the online participants.
Online participants may raise the questions. We welcome Dr. Anbu sir to give a few words.
Good evening. Thank you for the very nice interactive lecture. Actually, I am associated with the MIT for the past 15 years. I don't know if my memory is correct. I think 1992 onwards. So when I was working with the collaboration, we used to send samples, latex. We used to send the bills of number of songs. That time, I wasn't big purpose in your MIT. So that was you used to use a book, but then all the lectures would be long. The photographs are also very nowadays, even I was like you. The only thing, what the positive thing is always be like the attitude of the students, right? And especially after the COVID, I find it a lot of lagging. So I think, now it is responsibility to take it up. Because all my friends, they all retired. VS has retired, PK has retired. I think even Ravi has retired. So it is a new generation, next level, they have to bring the students back. Otherwise, we don't have any problem. Anyway, I wish we have more interaction like from kind of even now. Suddenly they asked me to be the member of that committee. For the information, I used to share a lot of books. The members, irrespective of the cost of the books. Okay, we source, nothing is free in the world. So still, I share a lot of books so that, people can learn. No, depending on other countries. So, India is not, because, I was in Japan, then I was in Singapore. I have few parents, from Japan, Malaysia, and Thailand. And, I know, Indians are no less compared to others. Even Japanese, they used to do a lot of value for the Indians. So, even people used to tell me, what do you want to share the books? It's not like that. You want to learn as much as possible. And second thing is the interaction face to face. Okay, you can ask questions, you can talk, even, if it is a formal or informal, you can exchange the ideas so that, everybody go together. Okay, it's not like, I hide my secret and you hide the secret. No, it's not like that. I tell what I know, or, you tell, what you know. It's always a learning process. I was telling you, the laboratory was set up by the MIT too. When we from Singapore, we came here to set up the lab. Only your students, the MIT students have set up the laboratory. They have solved all the instruments. They have planned, where to keep it. And we have given them full freedom. And I think one of the most successful laboratory, at least in South India, is now we are having, especially for polymer. We do rubber, we do plastic, we do all the failure analysis. Wherever, whenever there is a failure, we do this control and we are able to solve it. So thanks to the MIT and especially your senior. So what I see is, a lot of people, they just draw the head, it's enough. Okay. Next time, maybe next month, will be a very interesting subject will be coming in. So please do participate. Okay, thanks for giving the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. K. Ilangavan, sir, to present a memento to our esteemed speaker, Mr. P. K. GHOSHAL. Thank you, sir. Now, to formally continue the program, I invite Mr. S. Ganesh, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks. So please.
Thank you. Good evening all. Mr. GHOSHAL, thank you very much for excellent lecture. And we will have more interaction. Mr. GHOSHAL is highly informative. If you have any doubts, anything, you can call him at any time. And even he organizes the faculty visits and all. So, thank you very much. Thanks to MRF for sponsoring this program. Maybe for next 10 lectures, Mr. Janaka was telling they will be sponsoring. Thanks to them. Thanks to Mr. Janaka, who was instrumental in organizing this lecture. Thanks to Mr. Dr. Ilangavan, who coordinated well, who has done a good job. Thanks to all my friends, Sudhakar, everybody, to come and attend this program. Thanks a lot. And thanks to all of you, being a second Saturday also, you have come in large number. Great. Keep it up.
So I thank to Mr. Janaka, Chairman IRI, and inviting everybody, getting back to the mission. He is not available now. Dr. Ilangavan, Mr. Ganesh, Mr. Sudhakar, and Nevada to give me the opportunity to share my little knowledge with you. So I am very happy. But always I try to come mighty. I must feel like mighty since I came to Chennai. When Dr. Sushant was there, I knew specifically from Kasari itself. From the soldiers itself, I used to come there. So mighty is always not happening. So I always feel very glad to come there. And to share my knowledge. I also I try to help money and mental all the scholarship also because they are the future. So myself, our team and our my managing partners, we always try to give whatever they to help the post students. I also tell the students when they go for banking, I told them this is your scope. Though you are coming for 15 days, 7 days, or 30 days, whatever opportunity you are getting by seeing the actual practical application, practical management process. It is not even not absolutely book. It is you are using it. That is some result is there. So that those knowledge you can put it down, it will help in the future. So in future also we try to use them. Provide some, we try to give or share our knowledge and they can see our system. Now we need the system to come in. So it will be, I am very happy to come here. My team, IRI, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now let's have a photo session. Please come and join us.